welcome to the second episode of Redbubble Shop Reviews. Earlier this week, I put a call out on my Instagram page asking for Redbubble shop owners if they would like to have their shops reviewed. And basically, I received a large number of shop links, which I'm very grateful for. Rest assured, everybody who's given me their link will eventually appear in one of my shop review episodes. Just not all of you today, because understandably, if I did, this shop review would be extremely long. And I want to keep to the point, and I want to keep this video nice and concise, but to the point, so that obviously we can all learn about what works, what doesn't, through the constructive criticism I provide, so that everybody can enjoy the episode. And those of you who were showcased in today's episode, obviously, hopefully you'll be able to take what I put, or what I've suggested to you to heart, to hopefully improve your shops and obviously increase your chances of making the sales. For those of you who don't, fear not, you will be in a forthcoming episode of Redbubble Shop Reviews. So with that said, let's get to it. Now, before we get into this episode, if you're new to this channel and enjoy things pertaining to print on demand, Redbubble, TeePublic, Zazzle, Society 6, design making, marketing, then be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and don't forget to turn on the bell notification icon so that you will be informed each and every time that I upload a new video. If you're not new and you have been watching and yet haven't subscribed, there's the button, click it down. Now with that said, let's jump over to my computer and get going with these shop reviews. Okay, so the first shop that we're going to be reviewing in today's episode is a shop called Placeit. And as we can see here, the designer or the shop owner comes from New Delhi, India. So welcome to him or her. We've got 32 designs in the shop, so obviously we get a clear indication that this person is relatively new to the Redbubble scene. So welcome, and we wish you loads of success in your print-on-demand journey. Now, let's start taking a look at the shop and seeing what works and what can be improved upon. So, the first thing that grabs our attention as soon as we obviously open up a Redbubble shop is the header. And while it is a nice photo for the header, it doesn't really tell me much about what your shop has to offer. Keep in mind that your shop's header, which is this area up over here, this is prime real estate. And in terms of being prime real estate, you should be using it to showcase some of your designs in order to give a better feel to your customers about what your shop is all about. Okay? Don't throw away this really important real estate. Because you could easily create a lovely banner, maybe with the name of your shop, some mock-ups of your design, so that when people visit, they can say, okay, so this is what the shop is all about. Let me scroll down and see a little bit more. Okay? And when we look at the logo over here too as well, again, it's a little bit hard to see what it's all about. I'm thinking that it looks similar to this particular thumbnail in my gallery here, where we have a bee on a flower. And again, it is a nice photo, but what does it really have to do with your shop, and what kind of message is this sending out to your potential buyers? What I would do is perhaps maybe I would try and come up with a nicer logo that would fit around the title of your shop. If you're able to do that, great. If not, you could use websites like Placeit, and I did actually do a recent video about how to use Placeit, which I will link in the description below. And you can use it in order to help you create a new and interesting logo that you could upload in place of this photo. And if you don't have the time to do it, you could always use a website like Fiverr.com and maybe perhaps hire somebody to do it for you. But at any rate, the first two things that I would suggest heavily that you do is change the header and improve upon your logo, just to give it that professional feel to as well. Okay, so let's continue looking down here. Now, as we said, in terms of number of designs, we have 32. I would try to reach for about 100 designs if you can, okay? Particularly in preparation for the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter, as many of you know, starts in October and it ends on the 31st of December. And that is the time of the year when people really start doing a lot of purchases for all of the various holidays, particularly in the USA. So try to increase the number of designs that you have so that you'll have a better chance of showing up in search and hopefully making more sales down the road, okay? In terms of collections, for 32 designs, you have a good number of collections here. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 collections. Okay. What I would do is put your collections in alphabetical order. It's a small thing, but again, it really provides that human touch that buyers, visitors to your shop will see that, you know, you're taking the time to make it easier for them to find a particular niche or subject that's obviously available in your shop, and it's easier for them to read. As it stands now, you got Father's Day, Let's Have Tea, My Gallery, anime related, which clearly could have gone to the top of the list, quotes and digital arts. Again, it's not the end of the world, but again, it just adds a little human touch to your shop. And in this particular game, when there's a lot of competition out there, the greater the human touch that you can actually put onto your shop, the easier that you make a potential buyer feel in terms of comfort when they come to your shop, the greater the likelihood that they're going to stick around, perhaps make a sale, and maybe even revisit your shop in the future. Okay, so it's the little things that mean a lot. Okay, let's click down to the artist profile. All right, and here we have the section at the bottom of your first page, and again, it is quite empty. In fact, it is empty. You have 7 followers, you're following 6, and 152 favorite, and that's pretty much typical for somebody who's starting off. But Redbubble gives you the opportunity to add a little description about yourself. And again, here's where the human element comes into play. If a buyer is scrolling down and manages to get to the bottom of the page and actually comes to this artist profile, or if they do decide to click on your artist profile as soon as they open up your shop in order to find out a little bit about yourself, well, all they're going to know is that you come from New Delhi, India. They don't know anything about you, okay? And if they don't know anything about you, well, they might not stick around. Again, some people actually look to see for the human factor in a shop. So why not give them a sentence or two about yourself? What is it that you enjoy? How long have you been designing? What are your hopes and aspirations? Try to make them feel like they're a friend of yours who wants to help you out by making a purchase. And that all goes down to the type of description and artist profile that you put for yourself. Okay, so the third thing that you should definitely do is go down and actually go into your dashboard, click on the area where you can add obviously your profile and put one in. Okay? Alright, so let's go back to the top of the page and start scrolling down to take a look at your designs here. Okay, and let's start with this one over here. Father's Day gift laptop skin. So let's click on it here and open that up. Okay, so a couple bits of constructive criticism here. Again, it's not to beat you up. It's obviously to help you to improve so that you can actually make better designs and obviously, hopefully, gain more sales. Now, when we look at this particular design, there's a couple of things that are ringing out loud. First and foremost, the text is too small for the product placement. I mean, you've got a lot of white empty space around over here. Okay, and in terms of text, you have 3 different fonts: 1, 2, and 3. And in truth, again, not to sound cruel, but they don't really go well with each other. Okay, plus you have 4 different colors. So there's a lot going on, but unfortunately, it's not working in your favor. Okay, so what could you do in order to make this design work in your favor? Well, first of all, I would definitely enlarge the text. So fill up all of this space over here so that when people are seeing this particular design, it's going to be eye-catching. They're going to be able to read what it is that your design is saying. Remember, a lot of people, when they shop on Redbubble, they do so via their mobile phones. Now, if you've got a small screen and then yet an even smaller thumbnail with your design, if they cannot tell what your text design is all about, they're going to keep scrolling. They're not going to stop to click to look at what your design is really saying. And you have lost the possibility of making a sale. Okay? Now, you could decide to keep it left justified, or you could perhaps maybe make it centered, or maybe you can fully justify it and make it into a nice rectangle type design. That's totally up to you, but definitely enlarge the design. I would definitely go with maybe one color, a dark color against the white, all right? And I would definitely make the text in capital letters so that it stands out. Use a nice bold font, for example, Impact. That's one of my go-to fonts because it's nice, it's crisp, it's bold, it really stands out and says, hey, look at me. hence the name Impact. But again, if you don't want to use Impact, try to find a website where you can actually get free fonts for commercial use, and that are going to be bold and strong, so that obviously your text design will appear nicely on the particular product. Okay, now if we take a look at to see how it looks on other products, just to give you an idea. Okay, look at the screen here. I mean, even in terms of the shirts, you can barely make out what the text is saying. So this is a real important thing to keep in mind. If you're doing a text design, make it as bold and as big as you possibly can, so that it grabs the attention of your potential buyer. As it stands right now, people are probably just going to scroll by it and you would have lost the potential for a sale. Okay, so do keep that in mind too as well. In terms of the sticker, it's not that bad too as well, but what I might suggest here is that you recreate another design where you can actually fit it either on a circle or on a box, or sort of like a square type circle. Those tend to do really well, as opposed to, you know, stickers where they have all of these. Let's click on it here so I can show you what I mean. Okay, as you see here, even on the mock-up, part of it is going off to one side and the other. You've got these very jagged lines here too as well, and it may not bother everybody, but some people who might be looking for a particular quotation like this might say, you know, I wish it had, you know, nice straight lines or maybe a circular design, and it doesn't really take long to do, either in Photoshop or Photopea or even in Canva for that matter. So think about, while you're in the process of redesigning this particular text design for the other products, try to create an extra one for the sticker, and when you're in the upload process and you're in the sticker section, just click on the replace image and replace it with your sticker image. It's as simple as that and can go a long way at helping you make greater sales. Okay, so let's go back and see what else we can find here. Let's take a look at this design here. You probably can already tell what I'm going to be saying, okay? Your design doesn't fit on the product. The top part of the star is going out. Your text at the bottom is literally touching the edge of the pocket and probably won't come through in the actual product when it's purchased and delivered, okay? And if we look at the other designs here, now on some of them it looks really good, but again, the text, as you can see, is very small. If you're looking at these white shirts here, you can barely read what the text is all about. Again, you've used a yellow colored font. The font is rather thin. It's not a bold type of font. And again, these are mistakes that new designers make, okay? And again, it's not the end of the world, but it is something which is simple to change and rectify and improve upon, okay? So really encourage you to go back into this design and, you know, just make these minor tweaks so that obviously your design will be improved upon on all of the products. And again, move the design up a little bit higher into the chest area. A lot of people, particularly in the US, who are really big buyers on Redbubble, like to have their designs on the top portion of the chest, not over the belly or midway. Try to bring it up as high as you can. So when you're in the upload process and you've got that boundary box on the t-shirt area, try to bring the top of your design as close to the top border as you possibly can, so that it will be nice and full on top of the chest area. Okay. All right, so let's close that and continue on with our review. Yes, okay, so let's take a look at this design now. Lovely unicorn greeting card. Okay, so there are a few issues with this that you could definitely improve upon, okay? First and foremost, I really love the color grading that you use behind the unicorn. It really stands out and it gives a nice feel. The issues that I have with this particular design is that, one, the unicorn doesn't look like it's looking out. It looks like he's looking to the side, a little depressed, maybe got punished, I don't know. But there's no connection between the design and the potential buyer, okay? Add on to the fact that you use a totally different color tonality for this sort of rainbow color underneath it. It really doesn't complement the color temperature of the tones that you put in the circle background, all right? And then add on to that, the text, again, is a very skinny text. It's not a bold one. So it gets lost in that particular color gradient that you have over there. Instead, what I would recommend that you do is try to find a clip art of a unicorn that you can use commercially free. One that's like looking out at the person. So if a person is looking at my t-shirt, the unicorn is looking back at them. Okay, if a person is buying a postcard, the unicorn is looking back at them. Are you understanding where I'm going with this? Okay, unicorns are traditionally white. Okay, well, it's not the end of the world if you want to keep it another color. A white unicorn would definitely look nice and contrasty against the colored background that you have. And then with respect to that other color gradient, I would highly recommend that you get rid of it and maybe find a bold font and actually arch it so that it fits underneath the circle. So lovely unicorn. Or if you want to maybe come up with another catchphrase to put on the top of the circle and then lovely unicorn in the background. So there is room for improvement upon this design, okay? But it's definitely something that you should consider if you want to make sales. Because to be honest with you, as it stands right now, I don't think you're going to get much success in selling this design to anybody. Okay. Add on to the fact that in the postcard template, as you can see here, you've got a lot of white background over here. Okay. Which means that this particular design was made for other products and then just activated on a postcard without taking into consideration the template size for the postcard. And again, it's not the end of the world. It's something which is easy to rectify. I did recently do a video which I published on my YouTube channel called the 7 Deadly Mistakes That Can Affect Your Sales. I'm going to put the link in the description down below. It does have a section where it talks about postcards. I would highly recommend that you go through that, listen to it, and use it to improve your postcards too as well. Okay? So I'm going to click back. A lot of really good constructive advice over here, which not only for you, but for anybody who's new to the Redbubble game and watching this video, so that obviously we can improve upon in terms of our designs. And take a look at this one. This is another classic mistake that a lot of people who are new to this game actually do. And I consider myself guilty of this too as well when I first started out, okay? I'm going to give you 3 seconds to figure out what the problem is with this design. Ready? 1, 2, 3. If you said that because you had a black t-shirt with a black background on the text design, then you are correct, okay? One of the classic mistakes is that when people are creating a text design and they save it, they don't save it as a PNG with a transparent background. It might have been saved as a JPEG. And when you save it as a JPEG, obviously the background is kept. Or else you forgot to turn off the background if you did it in Photoshop or Photopea, okay? What's the problem here? All right. First of all, you've got 2 different tonalities of black, which don't look good. Okay. And if we had to choose another color, well, okay, maybe on a different color it would look good. Let's check on beige. But even this one, the blackness is really contrasting heavily against the beige. Okay. And for some people, they might not like it. Traditionally, with text designs, you either want to create one text design which is all white, so that it fits nicely on any dark colored background colored t-shirt. Or else you want to choose a dark colored font like black, so that if you have a light colored t-shirt like white or beige or yellow or whatnot, it's going to stand out nicely too as well. Okay, and again, this is a very easy correction to make. Just go into the file. If you still have it as a PSD file, just turn off the background and save it as a PNG with a transparent background, and then re-upload, and you'll be good to go. Although, again, as I stated with the other designs, increase the size of the font too as well. Okay, so overall, you have a good start, and there are a number of improvements that need to be made. But again, that's pretty much standard with a lot of people who are starting with Redbubble too as well. Again, some of your designs, your text designs are small to read, so they're not really showcased properly on the products, okay? And you can actually easily correct those. Remember, the products on Redbubble are not necessarily cheap in terms of price. So you've got the price that Redbubble charges, plus you've got your designer margins and the price of shipping. So for some people who are going to buy a product, they're probably going to be forking out a good sum of money. Keep in mind also, particularly those who live in the US and to a certain extent even in Canada and the UK, they have a lot of shops that sell shirts with designs on them, and they can actually even buy them at a very discounted price. So if somebody is going to come to your shop and buy a design from your shop, it really has to be the best possible design that you can make in order for them to click on the add to cart and get their credit card out and make the purchase. So as you continue on in your print-on-demand journey, take this constructive criticism to heart and use it to improve your current designs and the future designs that you make. What I would also encourage you to do is take some time every now and then, go into Redbubble and click on the best sellers for t-shirts, for mugs, for whatever, and just scan through the best sellers and see what made those products best sellers. What kind of designs did they use? What was the size of the text? What kind of fonts did they use? And while I'm not saying copy them pixel for pixel, use some of the designs for inspiration so that you can obviously improve within your own designs and in the products that you make. Okay, so keep going. Don't give up. There's a lot of improvement, but again, it's not something that you cannot improve upon yourself with a little bit of ingenuity, creativity, and know-how. So well done. Keep it up. Okay. Now, the next shop that we're going to be looking at is a shop called Turquoise Swag, DM for customized designs. Okay, again, it's a nice header, but as I stated with the previous shop, this is prime real estate, and I'm not going to repeat myself over again, but you could definitely improve upon this header, include some mock-ups of some of your designs, or maybe some design elements to sort of like tease the buyer in terms of what your shop is all about, so that obviously you don't put this real estate to poor use. You can actually put it to good use. All right. Again, your logo is quite nice too as well, but it's a little bit overcrowded. It's a little hard to understand what it's all about. I mean, it looks like some mountains and there seems to be a sun, but it's really hard to see what the text is saying. And this is on a computer, let alone on a mobile phone screen too as well. So I would definitely encourage you to consider improving upon the logo, sort of to complement the header that you're going to recreate, so that obviously it'll give a nice experience, a nice first impression when visitors visit your shop. Okay. In terms of the number of designs, we've got 85 designs, which is great. So you've got a good start. Let's click on the artist profile, head down. So we've got simple, inspiring, funny, sunshine. Please message me for customized designs. Okay, and you've given an email address too as well. Okay, again, just as I stated with the first one, you're going in for the kill over here. You're asking people, buy, 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 buy. And that can actually put some people off, okay? You want to give a real nice experience to a person when they're visiting a shop. So in your artist profile, I would definitely scrap what you put over here and actually give a little bit about you, yourself. What is it that you like? What are you all about? And then just maybe make a minor point that if they want customizable designs, they can contact you, okay? But don't always go in for the kill, because that can easily turn people off. All right, let's head to the top here and have a look at what we've got over here. All right. So as I stated earlier on, with 85 designs, there's no reason in my mind why you couldn't reach 100 designs by the beginning of the fourth quarter, which is this coming October. If you can get even more, even better. Remember, selling on Redbubble is a numbers game. The more designs you have, the more real estate you will have covered in Redbubble, which obviously means that people will be able to see your designs a lot more when they're searching through Redbubble. With 85, you have a pretty good, decent chance, but imagine with 100, 200, 300, 1,000, even more. And again, I don't want to put pressure on you. I know probably you're just starting off August 2020. You haven't been at this for more than a year yet. But again, do try to consider dedicating more time to put more designs up to as well. Okay? All right, in terms of collections, you have 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do try to make sure that the names of your collections are SEO friendly. The first 3 are, okay, that's not a problem, even this one, positivity and feel good sunshine. That might be a little bit dubious. It might throw the SEO off a little bit with it. It may not. If it were me, I would have probably just called this collection positivity, or positive designs. You can take that to heart or leave it. That's up to you. If you're making sales, leave it. If not, you might want to consider changing it to encourage people to visit that particular collection. Okay. Now, let's take a look at some of the designs over here. On the whole, they don't look too bad. All right. Let's take a look at this one. Take a step more classic mug. So we're going to click on that. And the reason why I clicked on this is because this is one of the 7 mistakes that people who are new to print on demand fall victim to. And that is with respect to the placement of their design on a mug. Now, let's take a look at this mock-up over here. As you can see, you put the design on the center of the mug, which for some people might not be a bad thing. There are some people who like to have the design in the middle of the mug, but On the whole, people prefer seeing the design when they're actually holding the mug in their hand. So if they're right-handed, they want to see it in this side. If they're left-handed, they want to see it on this side. What I would recommend that you do, and I show you how to do that in the video that I mentioned earlier on, is that you put the design on both sides of the mug. This way, if the person is left-handed, they're going to see the design. And anybody who's seeing from outside, they're going to enjoy the design too as well. And vice versa if they're holding it in their right hand too as well. In this way, even when you're seeing it on Redbubble in search, you're not seeing a mug that's just basically predominantly white with just a little bit of the design. Again, if they are seeing this design on a mobile phone, they're not going to be able to see the full design and they're probably just going to scroll away. But if you had to resize the design and move it and put one side on the other, they're going to be able to see what the design is all about, hopefully stop and click add to cart and make the sale. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the other designs, this design on other products. Okay, you only have it on 8 products, which is absolutely fine. You don't need to have it on every single product if you didn't feel you wanted to. Okay, but again, here we go with the same thing with respect to the cotton tote bags. The choice of the color, the background color that you use for the font is really close in tonality to the tote bag. So it makes it really hard to see what the design is all about. Given the fact that it's very small, you have a lot of room that you could actually fill on the tote bag and really make it stand out. So what I would suggest that you do is redesign this and maybe add a nice punchy contrasting background color. And then enlarge it so that the text really stands through. And obviously when somebody sees it on a tote bag or on a mask, okay, it's going to stand out and it's going to grab their attention. As it stands right now, there's too much of a pastel feel. It's too small, and most definitely with respect to the masks, it's off-centered, which if somebody was coming to buy it, they're not going to pay money for that. And if you had to ask yourself, if you saw that design or if you saw this product in a store yourself, would you actually go and buy it? Again, not to put you down, but just to encourage you to see things through the perspective of a buyer, okay, who is going to be paying good money for a product and they want quality and they want a great design, so that they can showcase it when they're wearing it or displaying it around their home or wherever. So go back into the design and actually enlarge it. Nice contrasty, punchy background color so that it stands out, and hopefully you should do very well with it too as well. Otherwise, the quotation is really good. Okay, so well done for the quotation, but please do make those improvements with respect to the other things. All right. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So Beach Grunge Classic, Look Classic t-shirt. All right. Now, this design I really like. Okay. It's not because I didn't like the other ones. The other ones need improvements. You get my meaning. But this one is nice. You got a nice circular design. You've got some of the rays of the sunshine sticking out. I love the fact that the circle sort of looks like a gem marker, you know, circle drawn over there. It's not perfect. It's not attached, but it really makes the design punchy. I love the yellow and the purple and the blues. It really stands out nicely. What I might consider suggesting is that you change the color of the shirt that it's actually defaulting to. Okay, let's take a look and see how it would look on black. Okay, so if you see it on black, because of the fact that you've got these bright colors, it really stands out. It's really punchy, and somebody who's seeing it in search, particularly on a mobile phone, this would actually obviously grab their attention a lot more than, say, the tan design that you actually defaulted on. Again, I know what you were trying to do. You were trying to choose a different color because predominantly a lot of shirts are displayed with the black background. So you're hoping that maybe by using the beige color, it would stand out against those and make people stop. And in some cases, that actually works. But in this case, where you have such a really bright design, it would really do with a black background, and the best thing to use would be a black t-shirt in this respect, and hopefully it will stop people dead in their tracks and want to click on it to get a deeper look and hopefully make the purchase. Okay, so you have it on 59 different products, which is great. A lot of them are defaulted to white. Not bad. I mean, it stands out nicely against white too as well. I tend to like black t-shirts, so I'm a little bit biased for that. But you know what? If you're making sales on it, all the power to you. Keep it. If you're not, try to consider tweaking the color that it defaults to, so that obviously you can actually make more sales with that too as well. All right. The stickers look great. The phone cases look great too as well. I really like it. Gives a nice abstract design. Okay. So well done for that. Okay, again, this one pink doesn't work for the onesies and the baby clothes too as well. Again, choose a black or maybe a dark blue or white if you need to, but try to stay away from the pastel colors because it just doesn't go with the tonality of the design that you made. Okay, mugs look great too as well. So overall, a great design. One thing I want to tell you about the fitted 3-layer mask too as well. If you take this is a little hack for you. If you take to heart what I told you about the mugs, that is putting it on both sides of the mug, you can use the same template and upload it to your fitted 3-layer mask. And what will happen is that it'll put the design on each side of the mask. So when somebody is wearing it, if somebody's looking from the left or looking from the right, you're going to have the design on both sides, rather as opposed to one smack dab in the middle with the crease to make it look really off-cut or off-centered, okay? So it's a little hack that might help to get you more sales too as well. Okay, so we're just going to go back. And as I stated with the first shop owner, we have a good start over here. There are some really interesting designs. Again, watch the placement of your designs, okay? Really important that you choose the right defaults so that obviously your design shows on the thumbnail when it's showcasing in Redbubble search. And obviously increase the size of your text designs so that obviously they will stand out. Otherwise, in terms of photography, I really like where you take the photo and you merge it into text. It's really easy to do in Photoshop and Photopea and extremely effective if there are people out there who may be teaching or like to have stickers with letters and photos and whatnot. It's something they might want to buy. What you might want to consider doing is making sticker packs out of this. You know, you could do 5 letters to 1 sticker pack with this design, so if somebody's looking to either spell their name or maybe use it to spell any kind of word for that matter, and they like these, you know, these yellow flower designs, they can actually buy the sticker pack from you, and obviously you increase your chances of making a sale. If you don't know how to do a sticker pack, I'm going to put a link to a video where I showed how to do it, and you can click on it and watch that, so hopefully it helps you make a sale too as well. Okay, otherwise, well done, keep going, keep plugging away, keep being creative, and we wish you nothing but success. Okay, so the third and final shop review today belongs to this following shop here, Gar5, and this person comes from a place called Tiny Canada and has 208 designs. So a good number of designs already embedded into this particular shop, and the first thing that obviously grabs your attention is this very colorful and well thought out header. And this is exactly what I meant when I said, you know, use this particular real estate on your website to showcase your design. This shows a number of designs that one can potentially see within the shop, okay, and it's eye-catching here. And we've got the logo here, which seems to be of a photo of a person snowboarding. I don't know if it's you as the designer who's on here, but I really like the fact that because of the fact that your header is busy, it's fluid, it feels like there's movement in it, your logo photo really goes well with it, okay? So I think it really works well here. And let's continue looking in through what this shop has to offer. Okay, so in terms of the view artist profile, all right, here we go. This is exactly what I was talking about when I was reviewing the previous 2 shops, okay? We've got a little bit about this person. Hey there, welcome to my shop. My name is Garrett Enzel. I'm from a small place called Tiny and like to design funny, goofy, or whatever I think is cool designs. I hope you like some of them, which is great, okay? So again, we've got this human touch, we got the human feel of this particular shop, and as a buyer, I would already start feeling comfortable and saying, okay, you know, I'm dealing with a human being behind here and not a bot that has just randomly put together a bunch of designs on a shop simply to make a sale. All right, so we're just gonna scroll to the top here. Okay. As I stated earlier, we have 208 designs, which is great. Again, try to shoot for more designs in preparation for the 4th quarter, which begins this coming October. Maybe try for 300, 350 designs, okay? The feel that I'm getting when I'm seeing your thumbnails is that you are a text-based designer, so there's no reason in my mind why you couldn't put a bunch of text-based designs to try and increase that number too as well, which is great. Now, I'm going to start with an overall impression of this shop, okay? The first thing that comes to mind is that because of the fact that you have a lot of text-based designs, many of them are hard to read, Okay, and the sizes of the fonts, the size of the words is pretty small. Again, go back, keep thinking. People are looking at Redbubble, they're shopping from a mobile phone. If the screen is small and the thumbnail is even smaller, are they going to be able to get a good feel of what it is that you're trying to sell? Let's take a look at some of the designs. Now, the first one that caught my attention is this one. All right, let's open it. Okay, so the title tells me, if you ever need nothing, I'm here for you, which is a really cheeky quote, so well done for that. I like that. But if we take a look at your choice of font, it's too scripted. It's really hard to read. All right, add on to the fact that the amount of space from one line to another is quite wide. Okay, so you're really not maximizing the full amount of the t-shirt in this particular case with respect to your design. So again, I would definitely recommend that you choose a bold font, again, like Impact or some other similar font, which is, you know, nice, crisp and clean. Use black, again, it would be nice against the white of the t-shirt, but bring the lines closer together and really maximize the amount of space Redbubble gives you so that it's bold and stands in your face. It's a great quote, it's funny, I think people will really relate to it, but as it stands right now with this particular font style, it's just not going to do it for a number of buyers. Okay, so let's just scroll down here now and take a look at the tags that you used. Okay, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21 tags. So it's a pretty good number. I always try to shoot for 14 to 17 tags, but again, if 21 tags are working for you and your design is getting seen, all the power to you. What I'm noticing here is that you've got some long tail keyword phrases, which I think is really good. And then you also have some generic single word tags too as well. Let's take a look at some of the results that we're getting with some of these tags. Okay, so I'm just going to open up a couple of them over here. And then we'll just go through and see what kind of results we would get for the keywords that you decided to use. Okay, so if we're looking at the next one, so here we have 120 results, which is a good number to play in. I always try to find keyword phrases where it's under 1,000, so 120 is great. Then we had funny saying. Now we have 468,186 results. Again, the chances of you being seen with this many results is quite nil. So if I were you, I'd try to come up with a better keyword to replace this one so that obviously you can rank in a new keyword. I recently published a new video which shows how to use long tail keyword phrases. The link is going to be in the description below. I would highly recommend that you take a look at it to see how I go about having my designs shown, and hopefully this will help you too as well. So let's take a look at the next one. I'm here for you if you ever need nothing. 117 results, which is a great keyword phrase to use. If you ever need nothing, I'm there for you. 7 results, and again, there you are on the top. Now again, it's not that there's a grand amount of results, but you know what? If people start finding this keyword phrase and they start designing for it, then the number of designs are going to increase, and you're always going to end up being in the first page. So all the power to you for there. Keep it well done. Vintage gifts. 1,689,903 results. I guess there's no need to say anything about that. Chances of being found next to nil. For friend, 191,000 results. Funny messages, 30,000 results. Okay, a lot lower, but still very high compared to 120, 117 for the other keywords. And the last one, funny text, 180,000 results. So what I'm trying to say, and this is for everybody who's watching this video, while it might seem a bit monotonous sometimes to come up with tags, remember that tags are the most important part of the design process, in addition to your description and your title. This is what Redbubble uses to obviously index your design in search. If you're just going about and inserting just generic tags for the simple fact of putting 14, 20, 21 different tags, if you're not being thoughtful about the kind of tags you are using, you're not going to make sales, all right? Or if you do make sales, it's going to be few and far between. And because you would have been lucky enough that somebody happened to be searching and clicked on you just out of luck. Because with 1 million designs, it's not going to be that easy to be found. So instead, take that time and actually think about what kind of tags you're going to come up with, so that you will always try to be as high in search for those particular keyword phrases as you can possibly be, so that you'll have a better chance of making a sale. And again, I would highly recommend go and take a look at that video. I go into it in depth so that you can see how you can do it. So that should help you out with your design rankings. Okay, so let's go back to your shop here. So overall, you're a text-based design shop, which is absolutely great, but there does need to be some improvements, okay? Be careful with the choice of fonts that you are using so that they will actually be visible for people who are searching, particularly with respect to mobile phones, okay? If you're going to be designing on a white shirt, which seems to be the predominant default color that you are choosing for your shop, make sure that the colors that you choose stand out against white. Again, for clarity's sake, so that people will be able to see what that design is all about and hopefully click on it and make a sale. Otherwise, best of luck to you. Keep designing, keep creating, and we look forward to seeing your shop grow in the days, weeks, and months to come. So, well done. So there you have it, everybody. Today we looked at shops that are relatively new to the print-on-demand game, and that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. We all started from someplace, and I was really honored and humbled that these shop owners provided their links so that we can go through them. We can actually give some constructive criticism. We can celebrate what was good and what needs to be improved upon. And in this way, each and every one of us who is watching this video today, or next week or next month, can actually learn what to do in order to improve your own respective shops. Okay? There's no shame in having a mistake. We all make mistakes. I've made mistakes with some of my designs. Sometimes I look back through some of my own personal designs and think, you know, what was I drinking when I created that design? You know, I could definitely have improved upon it. But again, I was still new to the game. I didn't have the design know-how that I do today. And through this particular types of episodes, I want to help those of you who are new to this game to be able to sidestep some of the mistakes that I went through and hopefully cut to the chase to create really high quality designs that are going to be marketable, that people who visit your shops are going to want to see, that when they visit your shops, they are going to find that there was a human being behind the shop, not a bot, that there is a certain degree of professionality, and that the trust factor that the buyer feels is going to be high enough so that when they see one of your designs, they're going to click the add to cart button and make that purchase. So again, I hope you enjoyed this episode, but for today, that's all I've got. And as always, be safe, be well, be creative. Bye for now.